All right, welcome. Today, we're going to crack the code on the language of adulting. You know, all those financial terms you absolutely have to know to really understand your money and start building your own independence. So let's just dive right in.
Look, this isn't just some boring vocabulary test. No, this is the real deal language of your very first paycheck. We're going to get you set up with the terms you need to know so you can see exactly where your money is going and, actually take control of your financial future.
First up, let's pull back the curtain on your paycheck. Seriously, think of it like a journey. We're going to follow the money from that big, exciting number an employer offers you all the way down to the actual amount that hits your bank account.
Let's kick things off with a big one. Annual salary. This is that headline number you see on a job offer. It's the starting point for your entire financial plan. It's what you earn over a whole year, before anyone else gets a piece of the pie.
So for our example, let's say your starting line is $40,000. Sounds like a lot of money, right? But, and this is a huge but, that's not what you actually get to take home. So, the million-dollar question is, where does it all go? Let's find out.
Well, the very first stop on your money's journey is the federal tax rate. This is a chunk of your income that goes straight to the U.S. government. It pays for all the big national stuff, like the military and those interstate highways we all use. It's not optional. It's just part of earning a paycheck.
But wait, there's more. Next up is the state tax rate. This is another percentage that gets taken out, but this time it goes to your state government for things that are a little closer to home, like local schools and fixing potholes. And this rate totally depends on where you live. Some states even have no income tax at all. And then you're going to see this thing called FICA on your pay stub. You'll see it on every single one. It sounds like one thing, but it's really a two-for-one deal that's all about investing in your own future. So FICA actually gets split into two buckets. Part of it funds Social Security, which is designed to give you some income when you retire. And the other part goes to Medicare for your healthcare when you're older. So yeah, with your very first job, you're already putting money away for your future self. Pretty cool, huh?
Okay, so let's recap that whole flow. You start with your gross salary, that big $40,000 number. Then, all the taxes and FICA get taken out. Those are the deductions. And what's left? That's your net pay. This is the real number. This is the money you actually have to build your budget around. It's your financial reality.
Okay, so now that you know how much money you're actually working with, let's talk about the language you'll need for some of those big adulting milestones. Like getting a car or your very first apartment. This is all about building up a solid financial reputation for yourself.
Let's talk about what I like to call your financial superpower, your credit score. It's just a 3-digit number that basically tells lenders, hey, this person is trustworthy with borrowed money. And you know what? Building a good one mostly comes down to two simple things: paying your bills on time, every single time, and not using up too much of the credit you have available.
A score like 750? That's considered excellent. You should think of that as your goal. Seriously, having a high credit score is kind of like unlocking a cheat code for adulting. It just gets you better deals and opens way more doors.
And this brings us to APR, or annual percentage rate. Just think of it as the price tag for borrowing money. And here's where your credit score really kicks in. The higher your score, the lower your APR is going to be. And a low APR on something big like a car loan can save you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars over time.
Now, when you're renting your first apartment, you got to have a shield for your stuff. That shield is called renter's insurance. It's a policy that protects all your belongings if something totally unexpected happens, like a fire or someone breaking in. Trust me, it's a super small price to pay for some major peace of mind.
So how in the world do you figure out how much car you can actually afford with that net pay and a loan? Well, you'll want to use a super practical tool, a car loan calculator. You just plug in the car's price, the APR you think you'll get, and bam, it tells you exactly what your monthly payment will be. No more guesswork.
All right, this is it. This is the moment it all comes together. You know your income, you know the tools for making big purchases, so now let's talk about creating the actual game plan to manage all of it, your budget.
A budget is, without a doubt, the single most important tool you have in your adult life. Think of it as your financial roadmap. It's really just a simple plan that you create to tell your money where to go each month, instead of getting to the end of the month and wondering where it all went.
So what's in your budget? Well, it's going to be made up of all your expenses. These are all the things you spend money on, from your rent and car payment to your phone bill and your groceries. Just tracking these is the absolute key to making your budget actually work.
Hey, remember that word deduction from when we were talking about taxes? Well, it can also apply to other benefits you might choose, like health insurance. And just like taxes, these costs are usually taken right out of your paycheck before you even see the money.
And finally, let's connect this back to that renters and car insurance we talked about. The regular payment you make to keep those policies active is called an insurance premium. This is a recurring expense, and you absolutely have to include it in your monthly budget so you know you're always protected.
So there you have it. That's the essential language of adulting. You haven't just learned a bunch of words, you've gained the power to start making smarter financial decisions. You've got the vocabulary now. The only question left is, what's your first move going to be?